Awesome. Thank you, Kelly. So welcome everyone to prepare for your launch first year registration. My name is Kim Loring. I am one of the hub advisors with the School of Engineering. And also that voice you just heard, that was Kelly Sanacero. And then we also have Bulos Abdallah joining us. So 3 out of the 5 of us are here today. However, everyone will be here to support you throughout your registration period. And this is just our team, the pictures, so you can see us. Um,
Wait, Kim, I need you to share your screen.
oh, sorry.
You got it.
Let me go back to that. It didn't share when I hit it. Okay. So let me click on that. All right. So now you can see the pictures of us. So like I said, I'm Kim Loring. You'll be hearing from Kelly and Bulos chime in if I miss anything throughout the presentation. We do have an hour saved for this, so I'm going to go through our introduction, which I kind of started already, but who we are, what we do, that sort of thing. We're going to get into registration resources. Next is how to register, and then we'll touch on the transfer credit reminder. We also have another webinar that we already did, and we did send out with your initial email. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back to that initial email that we sent to your RPI email. And also we have it archived on our website, and then important dates. So like I said, I'm going to try to make the presentation a little bit quick because at the end, I want to kind of go through an example of how to create your schedule and where to build it. And then that way you have all those resources. And if you still have questions, we do have drop-in hours. So just always remember, we are here. The drop-in hours aren't required. They're just recommended if you have any questions or concerns. Okay, so what is the School of Engineering Hub? So we are all experienced advisors. I know I've been doing it for over 9 years at this point. So we all have our expertise. So how long do you have us for? So for the first 2 semesters, your first year is where we're your official advisors. We will help you enroll and register for your third semester going into obviously your sophomore year. But after that, you're going to be moved over to faculty advisors. Now, there are some of the bigger majors that have also secondary advisors to support that are like us, and that's usually the main department or ECSE. But like I said, those faculty advisors will take great care of you. At that point, you'll already have a plan set that we've helped you create, and then you're going to work with your faculty advisors and tweaking that plan. So where are we? So we are in the Johnson Engineering Center. The JEC. You're going to hear a lot of acronyms if you haven't heard them already. There's a ton of them. And we're right on the third floor. You'll walk through one of the main hallways on the third floor, and we're right in, this would be the Ansel Lounge, and then this is the hub space. So if you ever make an appointment with us, that's exactly where you're going to go for it. So we advise all engineering majors for the first year. So you might be looking at this and be like, well, I'm an undeclared and I don't know exactly what I want to do right now. That is perfectly fine. We're going to be able to advise you within the first year and hopefully help you make a decision on. You also might see some majors on here that you've never heard of before and you didn't know was a discipline in engineering, and that's perfectly fine. Just know 1 in 3 students change their major within the first year. It happens. We're all in the same hub space. So if you start with one advisor and you need to move the other one, it's a very simple process. Now, say you're like, right now I'm an aeronautical engineer, but I think I want to do aerospace. You can make that decision now and actually change your major. Let me move this pane out of the way. Change your major now within your admissions portal under your additional resources. And it says change in major form. So anytime that you decide you want to change your major up until classes start, you can do that in the admissions portal. Now, we do recommend you do it before you register for courses because some of the different engineering disciplines have different requirements for some introductory based courses. So the sooner you know the decision, the better. However, if we need to tweak your registration for fall after or it's not really a big deal. You do also have the first 2 weeks of the semester, which is considered the add drop period. So you're able to still manipulate your schedule. We can always make changes then. But again, if you can tell us sooner rather than later, that way we can advise you properly. We would greatly appreciate that. So our resources. So you might have already seen some emails come to you from us to your RPI email. And I emphasize the RPI email because that is the communication method that we are using. We are not going to be emailing your personal. We will not be accepting your personal emails. If you send us one, we'll ask you to use your RPI email. And that's due to FERPA. That's just for your own protection, kind of like HIPAA. We just want to make sure we're communicating with you as the student. And giving proper information and accurate information. So just make sure you use your RPI email. We highly recommend you have your name and your RIN in your signature block saved. So you can have that already saved so you don't have to do it every time. But it makes our lives easier, especially if we're looking at your profile. Now, going back to the resources on the website, Kelly actually is our main website person, but she has updated the website and she is very good at updating it on the daily as we see necessary. So you'll see the drop-in advising link, the different times, the different webinars, the recordings, the transfer policy, different frequent asked questions, and then also like our course registration checklist. And also it looks like Kelly just put the link right into the chat. So if anyone wants to click that and have that saved, I recommend for the first year you save that website and have it as like one of your favorites. I already do, but it makes it a lot easier because we do update it throughout the year. We will send email updates, but that is the best method for resources when it comes to the hub. And also at the end, like I said, I'm going to go through examples. I'm going to actually use the website and show you how I use it. Obviously, there's no wrong way to use it, but just so you can see where all the resources are. So these are two of the different resources that we have on the website that will be developed in-house. So we do have a registration checklist, and this is for your first semester. So we want to kind of get you started on what are the real requirements and what need to be done. So it kind of allows you to say, well, I think I have transfer credit for Calc 1, so I don't think I need that. I'll need Calc 2. Oh, but it looks like I can choose based on this one, CAD or processes. I'm going to go with CAD. And it makes it a lot easier versus seeing the whole macro view of the plan because it can be overwhelming or you could be between majors. So we developed registration checklists to make your lives easier. Now, if you have questions, if you're kind of confused about it, again, drop in hours. That's what they're there for. But using the registration checklist for your first semester is the best resource at this point. Now, we do have Excel spreadsheets that show the whole macro view of like the whole major, which you can definitely download. You will need that in your second semester here when we go through a required meeting, but you don't need it right now, especially if you're still deciding on classes, don't worry about it. But it is there in case you wanted to look at it. And again, like I said, I'll go through an example at the end. So this is the additional software that I was talking about that's outside of the RPI actual software. It's called Quax. It was actually developed by our computer science majors. So it's pretty cool using a resource that our students developed, and it's actually pretty good. And it makes it way easier to make a schedule versus writing it out. That's what I used to have to do. And pretty much what you're doing is you're inputting the classes up at the search bar of whichever ones you want, and you click on in the times you want, and then it creates a bunch of different schedules or generates a bunch of different schedules. So you see this example, it has over 60,000 schedules. We always tell students you want to create have maybe 2 schedules or 3 just as a backup, because sometimes depending on your time ticket, you might be a little bit later, you might be able to get the preferred one, but it's always good to have a backup. And also remember, this is the first registration period. You'll be able to update your schedule before the semester starts and also even during that first week or two if you need to. But right now, we want you to strive to get the best possible schedule. So I understand people aren't going to want 8 a.m.s, but I will tell you as a freshman, a lot of the classes are 8 a.m.s. So just be prepared for that. It gets better, but I just want you to be realistic when it comes to the schedules. So how do you register? Where do you register? That whole thing. So you register in your SIS account. So you just use Quax, which actually pulls the data from SIS in order to work. But you're going into the official RPI software that is SIS, the website, and you register through there. So you might have already checked your holds on there. You might have already seen your time ticket. Time tickets were released to tell you what day and time that your period opens for registration. So when you're in that account, you go into your student menu, and we always tell students hit check registration status because you'll see your time ticket and you'll see if there's any holds. And if there's any holds, it'll have you click on it and it'll explain what it is. If you're ever confused about a hold, reach out to us. We're more than happy to help you. The big one is usually the financial responsibility agreement. That is every semester that's going to come up. That's pretty much checking off that you understand you have to pay your bills, you have certain requirements. So it's really just checking a box for that after you read it. So after you made sure you got your time ticket, you viewed any holds, you're good on both of those, you can search your class schedule. So when it comes to right now building your schedule, the numbers, it's closed for everyone until it opens, and I'll share the dates later on. But I always tell students when it comes to the day of registration, just because a lot of people depend on Quax. Quax has about a 15-minute delay compared to SIS, and SIS is where you're actually seeing the accurate numbers. That's where the enrollment process is happening. So I always tell students the day of registration, keep the class search open if you're looking at a class and seeing numbers of like how many seats are available, that sort of thing, because it might say there's some spots in Quax, but really someone just took the last spot. So that kind of helps you make your schedule or update your schedule in real time too. So after you hit class search, you'll select the term for fall 2025, and then you'll have this menu where you can search the actual classes. And then this is an important screen. So this is once you click it. So it looks like for the example, we'd used the in-class inquiry class, which I'll go into that in a little bit, but that's a humanities course that you need to take within your first year. So when we searched it, it looks like a bunch of them came up. So it's showing that the cap is 38. So right up here, the cap, so the most is going to be 38 students. The actual number enrolled are 0. So that means no one's enrolled for it. And then there's still 38 seats remaining. On the right side, another thing that we always talk about are different attributes. So certain other requirements built in for your program that are required. So this one is Haas inquiry and communication intensive. So, which again, you don't have to worry about all that right now. That's just kind of just so you can kind of see how it all works. Now, if you're looking at trying to see if there's any restrictions. So some classes have restrictions, whether it's major, whether it's the level that you're at. So if you're a freshman, sophomore, senior, junior, that sort of thing. So you do have to click into the CRN. That is a hyperlink. And when you do that, it'll bring you to the class and just kind of break down more information about the schedule. And then you'll click into that link. And on the bottom, it gives you another, I know it's a lot of clicking, restriction. So this one is restricted only to freshmen, which if you're a freshman and you don't have any transfer credit, it doesn't impact. In this example, say you transferred in a bunch of credits, you transferred in the max amount, which is 32. In this sense, you wouldn't be able to register because the system registers you as a sophomore. So if something like that comes up, let us know. We can tell you how to navigate it. I will tell you for inquiry classes, that's been updated more recently to include freshman and sophomore status because we did see an influx of transfer credit from students. Okay, so let me go back actually. So these numbers, CRNs, I know I told you to click into it before. Those are the numbers that they're specific for that class, that section, everything for that particular class. So you want to write down those CRNs and you'll see them in Quax as well. But when you go to register, I always tell students have the CRNs available for the classes you want because when you go to register, you can just input those 5-digit numbers into those blank spaces and hit submit and register for all the classes at once. Makes your life way easier versus searching each class, going through the registration process. Like I said, it just makes it way easier for you and takes away the time and maybe missing out on a spot. Now, you might receive, depending on, sometimes error messages occur. If there's a prereq issue or a co-req issue, it'll pop up saying, hey, you need this class instead, like with this. Some of the big ones are if you're trying to register for a physics one, you need to be also registered in Calc 1 or have that transfer credit already in. So those are co-reqs. We do have those on the checklists. And also, if you ever go into like the course catalog, it'll say the different pre-reqs and co-reqs. So just be aware that, again, questions, just let us know. So say you put in all the CRNs, you submit the changes, you're good to go. You want to double check it. I always say double check it just in case. You want to go back to your student menu and you can hit view weekly schedule, day and time. That way you can verify that you registered for all your classes. I've also had students in the past say like, hey, I want to meet real quick just to make sure my schedule looks okay. I registered. You can do that too. But overall, as long as you prepare ahead of time, the registration process shouldn't be too bad. Now, getting into transfer credits, I already did one of these webinars and we sent it out. It's about, I think, under 20 minutes in length, and also the slides and the quick sheet are all on our website. But pretty much our big thing in the hub is try to get your transfer credit in as soon as possible, because it'll make registration easier for you and also make advising easier for you. Because if we're like, oh, we're not sure if you're going to have Haas credit, or we're not sure, it's more of the like the calc and the physics. And if you have chemistry, like that's where we're kind of like, do you need to register for it for the first semester, or are you good? So get it in as soon as possible. We understand there's some that won't be released until like mid-July, maybe even August, and that happens. And we will be sending out a process on how to get overrides for that. That'll be coming up in an email communication to your RPI email, so just keep an eye on that. But overall, if you have questions about transfer credit, how to transfer it, what transfers, go watch that webinar. It's really quick. I made it as smooth as possible. And like I said, we do have the quick sheet on our website if you need to look at something really quick about the process. Important dates. All right, so your time ticket was assigned June 24th, 25th time frame, so you should all see it. For advising consultation, that's June 24th. So it for us, it's starting today technically, and to July 9th. Those advising consultations aren't, again, required, but if you have quick questions, you want us to look at a schedule, you just want to talk to someone, please attend those. That's what we're here for. If it's outside of advising consultation hours, you can still email the hub and we will respond within business hours. So if we understand people have different schedules, don't feel like you can't talk to one of us. We are available. And then freshman registration, July 10th to the 16th. Again, everyone gets a time ticket with the specific day, the time. It's all different for everyone. So just make sure you verify that on your SIS. First day of class is August 28th, and then our add drop deadline is September 13th. During that period, you can add classes or drop. We try to have you guys pretty settled before classes start, just so it's not too much extra catch up for you if you're adding a class. But we always tell students, if you're adding or dropping a course, always talk to one of us beforehand. And then lastly, our website, which I know Kelly's been throwing it out for everyone to see. And also, like I said, I'm going to go and touch upon it and do some things. So like I said, that is the best resource. We also have our Hub YouTube channel. So a lot of archived webinars we've done if you wanted to look at some of them. And then also we have our Hub Instagram. You can go give it a follow. We give updates. We have a thing called Manny Mondays, which are really fun. So go check it out. And then that should be it for that portion. So I wanted to check in. Are there any questions I need to answer before jumping into the next part of the presentation?
I think AP credit and transfer credit will be a common question that we will get. Since AP scores come out on July 7th and registration is the 14th, um, will will there be time in SIS for the update transfer credits before registration opens?
So from what we understand from our registrar, they're going to try to process them as quick as possible. Um, so it's a possibility. If not, like I said, we're going to send out communication on how we're going to be granting overrides, and that whole process. So just be on the lookout for that email. But our registrars already knows about that time frame. We've worked with it every year. It's this situation. So I always tell students if you can attend drop-ins just to kind of discuss your situation one-on-one with the advisor, we can kind of give you a better breakdown of what to anticipate and then how to build your schedule that way. Are there any other questions? Let me see.
If transfer credit for Calc 1, then take Calc 2.
Yeah.
Will AP Calc AB get me any transfer credit? Yes. Will I still have to take Calc 1 since I did not take BC? I mean, it's your choice of how you feel prepared. But yes, Calc AB will get you credit as long as you earned a 4 or a 5. I'll have you answer this one, Kim.
Yeah.
When does ROTC students register for classes? I was told ROTC lets us register earlier.
I think for the first semester, I'm not sure if the first semester gets the earlier registration. Follow back, send us an email at the SoE Hub at rpi.edu, and then we can talk one-on-one, okay?
Next question. If I get a high enough score, so 4 or 5 on my AP physics test to skip physics 1, can I still skip that if I can't skip math 1010? Yes.
Yes, yeah, you can. That was a good question.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you can go ahead.
no, you go ahead.
No, that's fine. So yeah, you'll skip physics, but you'll still take Calc 1 with us. What should I do if I put my registration if I took AP Calculus BC, DiffyQ, or Multifair? Go ahead, Kim.
So it depends on which major you are because some majors don't require multivariate calculus and others do. It's honestly, Calc 2 is a prereq for both. So sometimes people will say multivariate is kind of our version of Calc 3. So if you wanted maybe an easier transition, you could go there. But I've seen plenty of students start off in DiffyQ and do fine. It's really just based on your comfort, like how comfortable you are going into it, because DiffyQ is going to be a totally different area than what you're used to with Calc 1 or Calc 2.
Cool. Are you able to pick any elective available in the catalog? Essentially, yes, but follow your registration course guide first. There's more important courses probably to take to start, but if we can't find anything or courses are full, things like that, we'll work together to find alternative options. Do athletes register classes earlier? No, you have the same or a time ticket like the rest of the freshman class. But we
That
will work with you to make sure it's around your practice time. Go ahead, Kim.
I was going to say that can change depending on like later on for registration, but
Right.
for just not for the first semester, you don't get a priority registration.
AP history scores, give me any credits in place of Haas. Short answer, yes, but it does not impact your fall registration. We recommend taking an INQR course in your first semester. You have the most options, but later on, you have the opportunity to take one less Haas course if you bring in
Mm-hmm.
AP history, government, any type of Haas language. Did I miss anything?
No, and also I want to say for any questions regarding like what does this credit give me, the webinar, the transfer credit webinar, I kind of cover that. But also if you go just straight to the RPI's registrar's website, and that's also linked on our website. It gives an actual table of all the different APs and what the credit is. So if you're trying to figure out like what should I anticipate, it's not in, it won't be until later. I recommend going to the registrar's website and looking at that spreadsheet and just writing it down so you have all the classes that you're gonna be potentially transferring in. And that way, if you're like, hey, I don't know what to do, we can kind of talk one-on-one and do those drop-ins.
I think now is probably a good time to go through the Quax schedule, and I'll
Yeah.
keep answering questions as they come into and bring it up relevant to
Okay.
the making schedule.
Wonderful. Let me get that set up for you guys. Let me get out of my other presentation because we don't need that. So I'm gonna go back and share. Okay. Kelly, can you see my website? The
Yes.
website. Okay, wonderful. So I have it saved at this point, but this is the hubs. Actually, let me go back. This is the direct link to the Hub's website, which we emailed out to all of you. Like I said, if you honestly Google SoE Hub RPI, we are usually the first link that comes up. And this will be the page that you'll come to when you click on it. So obviously you guys are going to be the class of 2029. We are still advising class of 2028 until they officially switch over to sophomore status in the fall. So you'll click on that link. And this has been developed for your class specific. It has all the requirements for you guys. So this is the resource that you want to save on your internet browser. If you had a favorite, this is it. So this, starting off the top, SoE Hub email, if you click on that, it's going to pop up our direct email where we all have access. So we'll be able to answer any emails throughout our business hours, which are 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. and then 1 to 4 p.m. And that's Eastern Standard Time. That's Monday through Friday. We're all here. So just feel free to send out an email if you have a quick question or you can't attend drop-ins and you just need some help. We can answer them through that email. Now going down. So obviously you guys found our advising webinars. So it will be saved here later on for the recording if anyone needs it, and also the rest of them. The webinars, we're all pretty much going through the same information and covering the same information. So there's no need for you to go back into the others or attend every one unless you really want to. Totally up to you. And then down below here, we have our hub drop-in time. So this is the link to sign up. Note that the link is only live during the designated times below. So you can't sign up now for the 1 o'clock time frame. You have to wait till 1 o'clock to sign up for today. And then when you do sign up, just know your WebEx has to be set up. So I saw a bunch of people already had their WebEx set up. If you're on here without having set up your official RPI WebEx, because you have to use your RPI email for it, do that before you sign up for drop-ins. Otherwise, we're going to be messaging you on WebEx and you're not going to respond, and then we won't be able to do drop-ins. So just make sure you have that set up. And also, we do use this resource throughout the year. So WebEx is key. So again, these are the different times that we'll have drop-ins. If something comes up and you're not able to meet during these times, shoot us an email and we will try to work with you. Down here, so we have some quick buttons: transfer credit policy, the checklist, general questions, and then registration assistance. I like to go down here because it has everything that you possibly need when it comes to registration in these drop downs. So my big one is, I saw a bunch of questions of how do I access Quax? How do I access the checklist? All that. I know Kelly put the links in the chat, but people are watching right under here. How do I create my schedule? This has everything housed in there, including SIS, how to register video. The class hour schedule kind of gives a better breakdown of like the test period versus the lecture block versus recitation. So it kind of gives more detail. But if you're looking for the area of like, where am I going to go to get started? Right here under the registration tab, and then under how do I create my schedule for the next semester. So I'm going to go through a quick example. I don't want to go over too much time for you guys. Let me open this in a new tab. So we're going to start with the checklist. So sometimes it's not in alphabetical order, just so you know, for checklists. So you might have to hit the name and it will. So it goes back to that. So hit name. And I'm just going to use the first one. I'm going to just use the arrow template. So there's arrow and arrow space. Arrow space is this one underneath it. Oh, did I click on that? Okay. So you can download it and have it on your computer. But pretty much what we did here is give you a breakdown of what the different requirements are and what we want you to complete within your first year. So this gives you the ability to choose what you want to do versus being like, hey, these are the only classes you can take. We have some flexibility in the first year, and also with transfer credit, depending on if you have some, if you don't, whatever it may be, it kind of gives you a better idea of where you want to go. So someone brought up, I have the Calc BC exam that I'm going to transfer in, so they have Calc 1 and Calc 2. So the choice is DiffEQ, or you can even go down to multivar. Really up to you on that. Either one will meet the requirements. Depending on the major, so I want to emphasize this one, Essence of Engineering Mechanics. For the main department, so mechanical, aero, aerospace, nuclear, they have a preferred engineering core requirement instead of, there's another one called Introduction to Engineering Analysis. So with this class, if you look over at the notes, well, first the term, it's fall or spring. If you have physics 1100 credits, so that's like physics 1, it transfers in, or a calc-based physics experience, so you have some experience, or you took the AP class, but you didn't get that 4 or 5 on the exam, but you feel comfortable in it, then we recommend you taking it. Otherwise, you can also take physics while you're in it, but we've seen people be kind of a little bit more successful with some experience prior to taking that. And that would be your first engineering course. And then it goes over to choose one, whether you want CAD or you want processes, either one is good. And then, like I said, it gives you a better breakdown of if you want to knock out some other science classes, and then humanities. So you saw in the example that we used a Haas inquiry or INQR. You have to complete the Haas inquiry within your first year. So that can be first semester, that can be second semester. The most options are in the fall. So we do tell students to try to get into one of those if possible, but we do understand sometimes the class you want is filled up or there's some options that aren't fitting in with your schedule. That's okay. If you wanted to take a different Haas elective or a free elective, someone brought up, can we choose any elective? If you say you're interested in a management class, go ahead. That can be a free elective. You can use that later on and then take a Haas later. Like I said, the checklist is kind of just to show you what you need to complete, and then you build the schedule to what fits your needs. And then you're only registering for the fall semester. I should have started with that. You don't have to worry about the spring right now. So focus on this one semester, and then you're going to meet with your official advisor throughout the fall semester, and then we'll discuss what you're going to do for spring. So don't stress yourself out past the first semester. We're only focused on that. And on the bottom of each checklist, you're going to see example schedules. So on here, you'll see physics 1 or essence of engineering mechanics, chemistry, and then it has the CAD class or processes, calc or another math class, an inquiry, a different Haas, or a free elective. So this is just kind of give you a roadmap of like what you should be doing. We want you between 16 to 18 credit hours just to keep you on track, even if you have transfer credit. But generally you want to be at that 16 to 18 credit hour credit load. So that's the checklist. So I'm going to build a schedule. So I'm going to use this, and then let me go back to the welcome, and I'm going to click on Quax. I don't want that. And let me leave this out of the way as well. Okay. So Quax, the link brought me directly here from the website. Again, save this because you can use this throughout your time here. Up in the top right corner, you always want to make sure you are selecting the proper semester. So we're already in fall of 25. Wonderful. So going back to my checklist, so I'm going to pretend I don't have physics experience. So I'm going to say, I'm going to do physics 1100 first. Okay. I already selected those, don't mind me. All right, so I'm gonna say, I wonder if I can get it 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, another 10 o'clock, and I'll do this 2 o'clock. So you can click multiple options. And again, that's gonna create a bunch of different schedules depending on what you select for other classes. So I got physics. So what else? Oh, I wanna do Calc 1. I don't have Calc 1 credit. Okay, so if it's red and crossed out, that means it's not going to fit in my schedule. So I think I had something else. Let me go back to my schedule. I think I clicked on a few things beforehand so we'll unclick it. But if it's in red, that means it's not going to work with the schedule. So it already tells you beforehand if it's going to work or not. So I got that. Okay. Okay. So actually, before I go back, let me go back to physics. So if I just type in physics, it's going to pop up everything that are listed under there. So another thing I want to bring up for physics, just because I didn't really harp on it, is that with physics 1, especially in the fall semester, you need the co-req of the mentoring, which it is on the checklist. So I want to put in the physics 1101. So that's those options. So I have one. I'm going to just click all of them. So that'll highlight all of them just to see my options. Now I'm going to add Math 1010 because that's calculus. Let's see, are there any sections? I'm going to say, let's see, we'll do the 12 of just to try to be realistic with maybe people's sleeping expectations. Then I'm going to choose, so I have physics, I have calc. I didn't choose CAD or processes. I'm going to go with processes. And also the descriptions are all in Quax 2. So if you're wondering what it is exactly, it'll give you that breakdown. Now for this, I want to do these, I want to do a 9 or a 2 o'clock just to spread it out. Okay. So far I have physics, calc, I have processes, and then I think I want to do my Haas inquiry. So let's do INQR. Oh, INQR. So if I put in INQR, it's going to give us all the Haas inquiries. So you can kind of see what works. You can always open it and see if there's any that like aren't going to work with your actual schedule. So I'm going to go with behind the TV screen. And let's see how many credits I have there. So right now, and it tells you the credit count too. So got 1, 4, 4, 4. So I have 12, 13. So I only had 13 credit hours. So I want to add one more class. So I could add chemistry if I'm really feeling sciencey. Let's see. Oh, none of them work. So I guess I won't be doing that. So in that case, maybe I'm like, it's not going to work with that. I really want those times specifically. I am interested in management. So I'm going to go to a management class. Oh, cool. It fits in my schedule. That's that free elective that we talked about. So right now, this class schedule, if we look at the credit count, we're at 17 credit hours, which is between that 16 to 18 credit hour load. And there's 120 different schedules. Now there are going to be more. So say I went back, so you can go down here. You don't have to go back to that search function, but you can click on the classes. And if you're like, you know what, I'm willing to have an 8 a.m. and you click on those. If I go back to chemistry, I wonder if that opens anything up. So sometimes it takes manipulating your schedule. Oh, look, now a chem section's open. So instead of doing that management class, I could add that one to my schedule and then remove my management class. So, and then when you click on that, remove that. So that's how you build the schedule in Quack. So like I said, we always say have a backup or two. That way, if a section fills up or maybe your Haas inquiry fills up, you have that ability just to like register during your time and to have that backup schedule ready to go. So again, with the Quacks, I know I kind of went through that fast. So I'm highlighting courses when I click on it and turn it purple, that means I want it on my schedule. When I unclick it and it's white, that means it's not selected. The red means it's not going to fit in with the current schedule that I selected, and it's also crossed out. So even if I selected it, it's going to turn purple, but it's going to cross out, say, hey, this is not going to work for your schedule. And like I said, once you have built your schedule, you can kind of go look through it. And if you want to update sections, if you want to select through here, you can do that. And that, like I said, that's just another tool and how to create your schedule ahead of time. But always when it comes to registration, the day of registration, you want to check back in SIS because there's a 15-minute lag time between Quax and SIS because Quax pulls the data directly from SIS. So that's just something to note. But if you do all this ahead of time and you're prepared, registration should be pretty smooth. We will be available the day of registration. So if something comes up, a class fills up and you're like, oh, I don't see any other options, we will be available to talk to you. So don't stress yourself out. Okay, so let me get out of here for a second. Let me pull this back up. Are there any questions, Kelly?
Yeah,
That
for Quax, one just came in. Is there a way to favorite a generated schedule? I believe you can save a course set at the top, right?
Yeah, I believe so. So yeah, so course set one, I think edit. I don't know if I had to do that beforehand. Usually, honestly, it does save. So if you're the only one using your computer, it always saves. That's why you saw the last schedule I built for a different student. So it will save, but you can edit it. And then I'll say schedule one.
You can even
That course.
screenshot it, come up with as many schedules as possible.
Yeah.
You never know when things are going to get full or something like that. And always make sure you're in fall 25
Yeah.
um, at the top as well. So yeah, Kim did a great example there.
Yeah. Yeah. So pretty much, if you got anything out of this, go to the website or go to Drop in Hours and talk to us or email us. So there's 5 of us. We're all working together to make sure you guys are all taken care of. You will get your official advisor in August. So we will send out an email. You'll have the ability to email them, communicate via WebEx, schedule meetings in person, virtually. So right now we are just all advising at once. See if there's any other questions.
Haas inquiry, do you want to go over that and why there's 0 seats right now?
Yes. Okay. So Haas and Create, I already said it's a first year requirement. So right now, registrar actually put it at 0 or capped it just so other students don't try to register for it because only you guys can register for it. So those numbers will be updated before registration opens on the 10th. So yeah, I know it's kind of confusing looking at Quax and the class search, but for the Haas inquiry classes, the INQR designated Haas inquiry classes, those numbers are going to be updated when registration comes about.
They're saving your seat for freshmen. We want to
Yeah.
make sure that no one else registered for those courses, so they're all restricted to freshmen. Now, if you, for some reason, do not have freshman status due to transfer credit, please let us know, and we'll work with you to make sure that you have options for that inquiry course. Doing an override, something like that. So we have lots of options. I'm still working on that chemistry link. I'm forgetting who my friend is that I said that, but I will get it to you. Um, or just email the SoE Hub, and might be easier. So to make sure I get back to you.
I think the next question is how can I find a recommended order of classes to take? So that goes back to that checklist. So we kind of made it so that way you can kind of choose based on what your strengths are. If you're like, hey, I really have no idea what I'm doing, I always go to the bottom of the checklist because we do have a recommended schedule. And if you kind of follow that a little bit, you're pretty much on the right track. Now, if you need, like, say you're transferring in like Calc 2, Calc 1, and you're like, I'm really not sure where to go, please email or attend drop-in hours so we can kind of talk about it. But again, those checklists are kind of a guide to help you for the first semester.
Kim, um, great reminder from our friend Andrew here. Can you go over Better World Engineering?
Great question. So yes, so Better World Engineering is a 1 credit hour seminar class that is required for undeclared students, but is open to all engineering students. And what the class is, it's really cool actually, and I love it because each week you're going to meet with a faculty member from each engineering department or discipline. So 1 week will be mechanical, one will be aeronautical and aerospace, another one will be nuclear, then there'll be industrial and management engineering. So if you're like on the fence between majors, even if you declared one, you can register for that 1 credit hour class and kind of get a better understanding of the different disciplines. Um, we also have some recordings on our YouTube channel that we did called Industry Hour. which used to follow that seminar class. And we brought back some alumni and current students just to talk about what they did or what they're doing, and then now what they're doing in industry. So it gives you a better idea of what to anticipate post graduation. So I recommend people watch those different industry hours. But if you're on the fence about your major or you think that class sounds really interesting, I would say you can register for it as long as it fits in your schedule. Any other questions? I know Kelly, you've been answering them.
I'm trying to get them all. But they were all really good questions. You know, yeah, mentoring sections. Physics is the only class that has a mentoring
Yeah.
separate class that you have to register for at the same time. So, as Kim said, Chem 1, Physics 1, and Physics Mentoring must be all registered at the same time because in some way they are all linked. If you don't have one of those in that registration screen, it
Hmm.
won't work. I'm sorry if you said that all right. Um, um, Question about Quax again. So you can highlight all the courses
Yeah.
and then it will show up as a schedule for you. So it will never put a course on that won't work. I guess that's
Yeah, that
double negative.
interferes with the schedule. Yeah, you're right. I just did that because a lot of people tell me again, like, oh, I don't want 8 a.m. So I'm like, well, we kind of get stuck in certain situations where you need it at least maybe 1 8 a.m. Um, but again, yeah, if you want to just select them all and just be like, hey, let me just click through and see the best schedule, do that. We have tons of students that do it. Um, I see the question about if they have like certain transfer credit math 2011. Does that mean you have the math 2010? No, you only have part of it. So there's a different registration way of going about that. So if you can, shoot us an email to the hub email and we'll give you a breakdown of what it is. It's not too bad, but there's a different process for it. And then I see the last question that is, would a regular non-AP lab-based physics class be enough experience to bypass into intro physics and start at essence? It should be. Carly, let me know if you have any other information. It should be because it's not, so technically the Essence class doesn't have Physics 1 as a co-req or a prereq. It's just we've seen students, as long as they have some calculus-based physics experience, they tend to do a little bit better. You can always try it. And again, if you get in there the first week and you're like, whoa, 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 I don't want to do this, there's that add drop period. You can drop the Essence class and we can get you into something else. But you might get into it and be like, oh, it's really not that bad. I just have to tweak, maybe like read up on this one area. So it's really just based on your preference. If there's any other questions or any other topics, did I miss anything?
Trying to go through it. Better World Engineering was a good one. Drop-ins are not mandatory,
Yeah.
friends. So
Hmm.
if you feel confident in Quax and creating a schedule, being on WebEx is the best place to start. That's where a lot of
Hmm.
chatter will be happening in that Engineers 2029 chat, advising support. If you are not in that, please let us know. If you're still working on a major change into engineering, let us know. That will need prior to your registration. We want to make sure this is as smooth as possible for you. So keep
Hmm.
reading our website with all the resources linked there, and email the SoE Hub prior if you have any major questions, but definitely go through that checklist. Those are the most important courses to be worrying about right now. And then throughout the year, we're going to go over 4-year planning, or in some situations, it could be shorter or longer, depending on what your goals are.
Yes.
Yeah, so students were given um, chat information in an email. We also have that all the email communications posted on our website. So let me scroll down, important communications here. Um, then you'll go under 29 and you'll see the 2 emails that we've posted or sent out to students. If for some reason somebody didn't get it, it's probably because they were in the middle of a major change and updating the listserv. So that's where you can find it for the most updated information. Cool.
Well, if no one has any other questions, we'll hang back for a second. We can end the presentation. To anyone watching, thank you for watching, and we hope you have a wonderful day.